Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Take us through that. Take us through that.
Whoa, I couldn't believe it myself, dude. Like, them dudes came up to Mount Vernon, to my hood. They was in my house, and I was just more intrigued. Like, I was blown back. Like, I couldn't believe I was, like, looking at Jam Master Jay and Run and D. It actually, Run took a lot of convincing to rhyme on the record. Like, D and Jay was with me, and, you know, Jay was the one that was always like, you know what, Pete, don't worry about it, man. Just let's make beats. And he actually, I made that beat from scratch in front of Jay, you know. And, you know, certain beats I like, certain beats I was like, okay, that's all right, you know what I mean? So, but they loved it, you know what I'm saying? So I just enhanced on it and said, okay, y'all happy with this? Let's make it happen. And then, to this day, I can't find this tape, but I got a tape with me and Jam Master Jay practicing DJing, doing around the world, cutting Peter Piper and stuff like that in my basement.
Let's go look for that.
Yeah,
let's go look for that.
It may end up on YouTube some damn way.
Wow.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
Where is the version, and I know it exists, people think I'm crazy.
Uh-oh.
There's a version of Down with the King with no sample.
Oh.
Just drums.
Oh, I got that on the DAT. I got to bring that to you, let you hear that.
Yeah, no, I've heard it.
Okay.
I used to play it on the radio all the time. It was never on the record.
Yeah, I don't know.
I could never. But they were cutting it like it was pressed on something. Was it an acetate or?
It might have been like a test press of one couple of copies of wax. Right. Maybe they made like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5.
So I know I'm not crazy.
Yeah, right. nah, it was out there. That right there was from a fan point working with Run-DMC, and it took convincing Russell Simmons and Run that this record was hot. Like, we were the new dudes on the block. Like, right. Yo, this is what you should be rhyming on, you know, because their album Back From Hell went to hell. Right. And then Down with the King came out, and they were #1 with a bullet. I still have the Billboard magazine. That it was #1 with a bullet on the rap charts. So it said a lot to Russell. He showed me a lot of respect after that. Started working with Def Jam people.
How did you hook up with them in the first place? So how did it
through
connect?
A production company I was working on. After I did shut them down, Eddie F had formed a production company called Untouchables, which they would go out and find work for producers. And at the time, it was myself, another producer named Dave Hall, and another producer named Novell Hodge. And it was us three. And, you know, like at that time I had shut them down now. So it was like the alert was on Pete Rock, you know. And everybody felt they had to get something from me, you know what I mean?
Word. Any of you guys, like, thoughts on, like, when you heard that record or when you still hear that record?
Down with the King you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, I was a huge DMC fan, and I was a huge Pete Rock fan, so I was just like, you know, chocolate peanut butter, you know. Proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. Simple.